Hey, it's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
There she is, Eryn Eddy. She's not at the Piggly Wiggly. She's at her home there. If you're watching Facebook Live or YouTube Live there not in Fairburn, Palmetto,
That's
Georgia.
Right. That's right.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm on the stretch of, I guess, what is it, 2 weeks after my book has been released? 2 weeks since it's been released. So I'm just on this author high of just gratefulness.
Well, that's
awesome.
We do want to talk about your book, So Worth Loving, How Discovering Your True Value Changes Everything. Now, listen, I got an email. I don't know how many times you've been on the show, more than 3, maybe 3, 4, I don't know. But your publicist sent me an email and said, would you like to have Eryn Eddy on the show? And I'm like, hello.
We know Eryn
Absolutely.
Eddy.
Well, I did say that. I said, by the way, she's been on our show 17 times.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that, but I did say on the show. But
I wish you would have said that.
Thanks, Nicole, for that. Your publicist there. I hope she's getting you a lot of interviews. We're the best, of course. But anyway, we do want to talk about that. Let's talk. You said I thought it was out longer than 2 weeks. I kept thinking it was like January 1. Boom, there it is.
No, January 19th.
19th.
Yeah, I was squished between MLK and the inauguration. It was like the perfect sandwich.
So you had Eryn Eddy Day amongst all
Eryn Eddy
that.
Day, yeah.
Well,
what kind of reaction you've been getting so far from the book?
I have received so many stories of people emailing me and writing me, not even, or on direct messages on Instagram and social media, not even have already read the book, but the reason they bought the book. And that's been really just empowering and encouraging and to receive. I mean, stories of, whether it's going through a divorce, going through some sort of personal internal battle is why somebody has bought my book. And that was my goal, because I wrote that book out of the place of my own internal battles to help somebody else. So that's been so life-giving to see that the purpose of the book, people that are buying it, they're buying it for that purpose. That's just so cool.
Yeah, I was going to say that book is out of your soul. I mean, that is real life experience and not just the dark times, which is really important to share. Because then it shows us that, hey, Aaron's going through it too. So, but also you give so much hope in this book. It is amazing when someone pours out of their soul onto pages, like a book or digital, I guess. I don't know. Is it on ebook as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on Kindle, and it will be audiobook March 2nd.
Yeah. I mean, that's your baby. That's your child. So we expect folks not only to read it, but it to help them. And I hope you get all positive feedback. And then when you have a So Worth Loving book 2, you'll put Dan and I's name in there somewhere.
Oh, for sure. In the acknowledgments. I might dedicate it to you guys.
The reason I wrote this book was because of Rick and Dan and the abuse that they gave me on the show.
Did you get
Here, actually?
Yeah, let's see it.
I have it right here.
There
you go.
At that. Let's see.
Love that.
There she is.
Look at that. And that's you on the cover, right?
That's me.
That's you, yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yep, there it is.
There.
Hiding behind a plant. Yes, that's you.
I didn't want it to be like, this is my face. You're so worth loving.
Do they have the folks that have read it? I'm not sure if you know them all or not, but those that you don't know, have they responded by questions or any responses that has surprised you at all?
I have received, so at my launch team, there's 150 people that were on my launch team, and they got the book in advance and they read it. And so reading their comments in the Facebook group, sharing why they connected with it, that was so encouraging too. What I've just seen a common trend with everybody reading this book is that they have felt alone in what they are feeling right now, and they feel seen, and they feel like they can identify how they feel, and they feel like they have some practical tools to move forward. That's honestly just the fact that that's a response, because that was my goal. But you just never know with creating something. When you pioneer a thought, when you pioneer something you're creating, you don't know how it's going to be picked up and received. And you don't know if like the goal is going to be achieved at all. So the fact that people are reading it and they're able to apply some practical ways to learn how to face some of the things that are going on inside, or even identifying the fact that they didn't even know that they had stuff going on inside. One of my friends, actually, okay, I'll share this. This is great. One of my dear friends, we've known each other for probably 8 years, and we had a little bit of a falling out, and then we reconciled our friendship and rebuilt it. Anyways, she got the book, and she texted me one day, and she said, out of my own arrogance, I thought that I was going to read this book and know everything about what you were talking about. And she was like, she goes, but won't he do it? She goes, but won't he do it? Because she was like, the Lord slapped me upside the head. And she was like, out of my arrogance, I thought that I already knew what you were going to say. Okay, yeah, we're all so worth loving because we have inherent value, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I have been able to just kind of do some introspection into her own life, because that's what I do in the book about my own life. And so it gives the reader permission to do that. But that was really encouraging to hear a friend say, I didn't think I was going to find anything in this, to then be able to find something in it.
Isn't that?
I'm sure. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, Eryn, as you were writing the book, I'm sure God taught you some things as you were writing, and maybe some things you didn't want to learn, but were helpful and healing for you. Anything that stuck out as you were writing that you learned?
I learned how much I desire control. In there would be days where when I was writing, I would just have just writer's block. And I'm like, Lord, why aren't you just giving me something? And then I'm trying to do all these things okay, I'm gonna listen to worship music. Okay, I'm gonna have my quiet time. Okay, I'm gonna journal. Okay, I'm gonna go for a walk. Okay, I was as if I was treating God like a genie to produce.
Yeah.
And then I just felt like he just continued to remind me of what we just need on a constant basis in our life, which is stillness and release of control and surrender of our thoughts and just being. He just taught me to just be, with no sort of trying to perform to be with him, because I felt like I was trying to perform for him to be with me. And right. The Lord's like, I just want to be with you. You don't need to do these regimens to get me present in your life.
Yeah, I'm already here.
I'm already here. Why are you? In fact, I'm sure he was just watching me be like, child, calm down.
But it's true, though. Don't we all do that, right? In some form or fashion, we put A and B and we expect C to happen. And then we go, well, how come I didn't get C? I have A and B. And so if we'll just chill, it just comes out of you. And, even at 60, of all these years, I'm still learning that. And thank God for sharing all that in your book. Eryn Eddy, So Worth Loving, How Discovering Your True Value Changes Everything. You can go to soworthloving.com to find out more. You got to read this book. All right, Eryn, I think we have time. There's a number of things that I saw on the press release that I would like to ask you about the book. You talk about creating a permanent, healthy lifestyle. Tell me what that is, or tell us what it is, and how do we do that?
Well, in the book, in the conclusion, I say, if you still have a lot of questions, good, because I don't have all the answers. One thing that I've learned about just living a lifestyle out of the belief that you're worthy of love is that you don't fully arrive to fully believing that and living that out. It's a constant battle of your mind. It's a constant reevaluation of the choices that you make. It's a constant learning to live in constant awareness of who the Lord is in your life with you. And so that's what I write about, is that the permanency of it is more that you need to accept that you won't ever fully arrive. That's what I wanted people to know. You won't ever just be able to walk outside your door and never ever struggle with the idea that you're worthy of love, and you can live that out and freely, and you can find freedom and you can live freely and lightly, but it's a battle to experience that on a consistent basis. It just gets easier. It's like a muscle. Some areas of your life, it gets a little bit easier to do it and to apply it. And then you hit another circumstance that rocks your way of thinking. So that's really what I hope for anybody that reads the book, is to feel the freedom that you won't arrive to your understanding your inherent value, but it's a constant discovery.
Talking to Eryn Eddy, So Worth Loving is the name of the book. SoWorthLoving.com is the place to go, not only for the book, but for lots of T-shirts and all kinds of very cool stuff. Anything that you're really excited about that folks can find on the website?
Yeah, you can find my book on the website. And then we also have an online community called SoWorthLoving.com/community, where you can become a member. It's free. We have resources for you that our whole team collectively studied, read, pursued thought leaders in these certain areas on how to live your life through the lens you're worthy of love. So we have resources like books, podcasts, videos. We do even monthly events. Conversations with a therapist was one that we did, and conversations on diversity, and conversations on another chance when we feel like we've had a second, third, or fourth chance. So we do a bunch of fun things over there also that you'll be able to find on our website.
Hey, and if you'll, I don't even know if they call it surfing anymore, but if you'll surf the YouTube, you'll find some old music videos with Eryn. And the one that we played on the show when we were in the studio with the red boots, that's all I can remember. That and Water. And it was a cool song. That's all I can remember.
Yep.
So,
red boots and Water.
Yeah. Wasn't it Water? You were dancing in water, or
I was.
Yeah.
Those cat boots were from my mom in the 80s.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she would be with the band still, but it electrocuted the rest of the band members. So it was,
Water and electric.
It was a cool video. You're so talented, and not only talent, but your heart and your ministry out of your soul. Just, there's so much depth, and it's refreshing to hear folks when they talk about their projects or whatever, when it actually comes from, I hate to say it, from your pain and your journey to the other side of it and through it in victory, because it helps so many people. It's not fake. It's not phony. It's not made up. It's real life, and real life hurts, but there is hope. Hey, okay, we got to take a break in a second. All right, the rest of 2021, we know we want millions of people to not only read it, buy it, but we want you to be on the bestseller list. What else do you have coming up in the, are you going to revive the Red Boot video in 2021? What else are you going to do? What are you going to do?
There are some conversations about creating an EP out of the book. So awesome. I hope by the fall I'll have maybe one or two songs that I'm able to release that kind of piggyback some of the emotions I felt when I wrote the book. So that's to be continued.
All right. Well, maybe this video will be on ice. That'd be fun.
Yes!
Sliding around with your instruments, and that'd be fun.
Yeah, Dan and I'll get a walk on. We could wear Bernie Sanders gloves on the video, and we could sit there and we could say, "What you do?" Yeah.
Oh my gosh, can we please do that? We just have to.
That would be awesome. It's always a great time with Eryn Eddy. We cherish the time with you, Eryn. Thanks for hanging with us, old guys. So Worth Loving. How discovering your true value changes everything. SoWorthLoving.com. We'll talk to you in a couple of months to see how you're doing and your stardom as it explodes. So thank you very much. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.